All right, this is my video trying to explain how you should think about long tail keywords so that it makes more sense in terms of how Etsy is searching for things. Now, this is Google. Google search and Etsy search are not the same. So I'm not saying that. Don't think I'm saying that. They are different. They're completely two different systems. Because, Google looks for information results more than shopping. Etsy's trying to find a good product for you, but they do act in the same way in that they will find results that have the keywords in them that are in the search, but not necessarily in that order. So the thing about Google is Google's intuitive. Google will bring back searches that don't have these exact words in them if they think that maybe cupcake toppers is okay. So there's searches down here that have they're like purple butterflies for cupcake toppers, and they're saying, see how this is bold type. I'm not sure if you can see that it's bold. This is actually a good example here. What Google does is they give you the search results. Sometimes they'll have missing, and then they'll have a word with a strike through it if it's missing a word in your search. But it will bold the things that are being brought back that indicate to Google that this is a good match for what you searched. So see, this is lilac is in bold. That's because they know that lilac is a shade of purple. So because that's being bolded, you can see that that's why they're pulling that result back. So they have lilac, there's butterflies is in bold print, cupcake toppers. Okay, so I searched for purple butterflies cake toppers, but they're saying, well, lilac and cupcake are close enough. So we're going to bring those back. And since they're in bold type, then you can see that that's the reason that they think that this is a good match. Also, it has cake toppers up here, and eBay is a larger platform, so they tend to bring back Amazon, eBay, and Etsy listings first, or in Pinterest, whatever. So, see, we have purple butterfly cake. That's in bold. Here's cakes, purple cakes, wedding cakes. This doesn't have topper in this result, but because it has enough, Google's saying, okay, well, this is probably a good result for what you're searching for, so we're going to show it to you. But notice that they're not bringing back this exact phrase in every search, okay? It's hopping around, it's picking out, see, this has toppers. Here's purple, edible butterflies, cupcake toppers, cake toppers. It's hopping around and bringing the words out of these listings and saying, because it meets all our criteria, we're going to bring that back and show it to you. Now, it can be missing words like we saw down here, like that one that said lilac and not purple, but they know that lilac is a shade of purple, so they're going to bring it back. That's because Google is smart. All right, Google is intuitive, and it has these formulas put in place that bring back, it's the latent semantic indexing, which is if it's a synonym, then they'll bring it back. Etsy doesn't do that, okay? So when you hop over here, I have purple butterflies cake toppers as my search. These are the results that came back. Every single one of these listings is somewhere in the listing going to have the words purple butterflies cake toppers. They don't, if lilac is in there and purple is not, Etsy will not bring that back. So you have to have these words in your listing somewhere that Etsy looks at in order to be found for this particular search. Now I want you to look, it says 570 results. I'm going to do toppers, cake, butterflies, purple. The word order doesn't matter in terms of how many results it's going to bring back. Okay, see, it still brings back the same results. The word order matters to Etsy to a certain extent. Like you can do this yourself and test it out just to see how it kind of moves the listings around. They try to match for exact word order based on this search, and they look for the listings that have those words in that order to bring it back toward the top of those listings. So you need to know what order words in, because you could be searching for, you could be putting purple butterflies at the front of your titles, thinking, oh, that's great, because everyone's going to search for that. But maybe no one's looking for that. Maybe they're doing cake toppers, and then they're adding butterflies and purple on the end once they kind of narrow it down. Maybe a weird order like this is better. Who knows? The point is, though, that they're not going to find these words they're not gonna substitute words. Like they wouldn't substitute lilac for purple and bring you back listings that have the word lilac in them. For Etsy, these words have to be in the title and tags, the title or tags, not and or. They have to be somewhere in the listing that Etsy looks at the SEO. So that's the title, the tags, the categories, the attributes. They're not looking at descriptions yet, but they're talking about starting to do that. And you should always be using keyword-rich descriptions anyway, just so that you will be found on Google for that, if Google looks at your listings. But at this point, it's title, tags, categories, attributes, and variations too. So if you have colors in your variations, that counts. But if these words are not in your listing where Etsy's looking, it's not going to be found. So when I'm telling you to do, like to find 1 or 2 main anchor keywords that are good with search and engagement, and then to put the descriptions in there, that's why. It's because the more words you have in there, the more long tail searches Etsy can match. And what you need to do is stop thinking about, let me type this out first. Stop thinking about this long tail search being a single unit, okay? I think people get confused when they're looking in Marmalade or whatever, trying to find a good search and engagement rate for a long tail keyword. By the time you get really specific like this, not many people are going to be searching for this exact word order every month. So you're not going to get a whole lot of searches, but with this keyword combination, you're going to find this will find cake topper. If you have this in your title and someone searches for cake toppers, it'll find this listing. If you have purple butterflies in your title, it'll find that listing. But if you don't have all of these words in your title tags, listing the way I said, then Etsy won't find you. But they don't have to be in that order. I'm going to go down, and since there aren't that many results for this, let's go to page 6 just for fun. Just for fun. And we're going to see where, well, you know what? Let's go back to page 1, because going to page 6 is one thing, but let's see what the page 1 results were for this search. All right, and let's hover over, well, I can look at one of my listings. I saw one of my listings on here. Here it is. Okay. Now I can tell you I've been selling a lot of these recently for some reason. So this is a listing that sells pretty frequently. It gets good reviews. I have purple butterflies. I'm going to highlight that. Purple butterflies cake topper. Okay, so all the words are there. They're not in that order, but they don't need to be. For long tail keywords, you're not going to find as many listings that have this exact word order. So what you need to do is stop thinking of this as a single unit that travels together. You need to think of this as 4 separate words. Maybe some of these words put together are a good keyword. Maybe some of them, maybe cake toppers gets a lot of searches and engagement, so you should put it in that order. But maybe they don't, and maybe these 4 words together, when you have them in your titles and tags, will eventually find someone who makes a long tail search with that and brings back this listing. So stop thinking of long tail keywords as a single unit and just think of them as a combination of different single individual words that describe your item that you can put in your title and tags, title or tags, and you can get long tail search results matching that. So here I have cake butterflies, I have cake topper here. I do not have the word purple in here. It's probably in the color attributes. I have butterflies here. Edible butterflies, I know, is a phrase that people describe this pretty frequently. But see, all of these are just all random words. Baby shower decor, bridal engagement. Bridal engagement isn't a term, but I have the words bridal in here and engagement in case someone has a bridal shower, an engagement party. There's party right there. Macaron decorations, pretzel rods, mini, because mini cupcake. Where's cupcake? Mini cupcake. Toppers. Where's topper? There it is. So if someone searches for butterfly mini cupcake topper, this is going to come up because all those individual words are in my title and tags, title or tags. I keep saying and, it's or. All those individual words are in my title or tags and they match that long tail search. So stop thinking of this as a single unit. Think of that as the search. that's made up of 4 separate words. After that, you can go in and find some good combinations of individual words that, when put together, make a short tail keyword that gets a lot of searches and engagement. Okay. After that, you just put in more keywords, to more individual words, to create matches for more possible long tail keywords. So do the who, what, when, where, why. What is it? Who is it for? What's it going to be for? What's it made of? How would people describe this? So that's how you have to think of this. Stop thinking of a long tail keyword as a single unit, basically. These words don't have to travel together. And if I did not explain that clearly, I know it's kind of a hard concept, because if you're used to thinking of this as a single unit and you have to match that exactly, it's hard to get away from that. But you don't have to match things exactly for the long tails, because it just doesn't work that way in Etsy. So leave me any questions. I hope that helped. And if it didn't, if I made it more confusing, then let me know and I will try to explain it better, because it makes sense for me, but sometimes it's hard to explain. Okay.